Your Name, Weathering with You, and Suzume, all considered masterpieces of anime movies created by the wonderful Makoto Shinkai and beloved by the entire anime community. But what about the piece that you never saw, the piece that was overlooked, the one you never really realized existed? We all know the classics I mentioned above, including other stuff like The Garden of Words and 5 centimeters per second.
昼過ぎから
But have you heard about Kanato to Kanato no Neko, or in English, She and Her Cat? This was Makoto Shinkai's first ever introduction to the anime community. This was his debut in anime, movie creation. Yet, few people seem to have either seen it or read it. The entire 5-minute short movie is told through the perspective of a cat called Chobi,
彼女の匂い
who observes and narrates the life of his owner, Miu. She lives in a small apartment in the suburbs of Tokyo. Even today, living in Tokyo is no easy feat. It is expensive, it is crowded, it is the New York of Japan. You kind of have to be built for it in order to know what you're actually signing up for. And she faces many relatable issues that I think all of us, or at least I, have related to at some point. Moving to a new city, not really knowing if you fit in, not really knowing, can you make friends, and if so, where? Do you fit in with your classmates? Do you like your colleagues? The reality of not knowing anyone, being alone for most of the time. Some days just feels like an endless loop of waking up, going to work, coming back home, like an actual NPC. Well, with less good gameplay and, bills. Continuously tired from the day prior, the only thing really keeping Miu going is, of course, her cat, Chobi. She has no one to share her actual burden with, the burdens of living alone, the actual struggles in her life. The only one she has is Chobi. But yet again, sometimes all you really need is love, whether it being conditional or unconditional, from a pet or from a human. Besides the language barrier and the cultural changes between a human and an actual cat, she still wants to actually be with Miu all the time. And even if he doesn't actually know what's going on in her life or understands what's really bothering her, he can just feel she's down, but doesn't really know what to do except just be there with his owner. I've now seen this movie at least dozens of times, and I've read the book twice, and if there's one thing She and Her Cat, the short movie, does, it depicts time incredibly well. Seasonal transitions, a thing we nowadays kind of take for granted because it's very much implemented into most modern animes. This was kind of unique at this time. Stuff like weather changes, like going from rain to snow, and from snow to clear sky, symbolizing the slow march of life that we all kind of are on. Seeing an animal reflect on its own like this is kind of nostalgic to me in some capacity. Kind of romantic in a sense as well. Kind of reminding me that nothing really lasts forever. That sometimes you need to slow down, you need to take a breather, be in the moment, look at the concert, see the artist instead of filming it with your phone. In a world that moves at lightning speeds, where social media takes up almost 80% of most people's day, and everything being so competitive nowadays, I find it comforting to be reminded to sometimes just pause. Because if I'm being frank, and I think I'm not the only one here, I spend most of my days just scrolling on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, and while I'm doing that, time is just slipping away, and I'm kind of forgetting that sometimes we should do other stuff than being on our phones and kind of just go outside, maybe touch grass once in a while. The movie made me think of my family dog. Just like Chobi in this movie, he probably really didn't understand why sometimes dad was feeling down, stressed, why I sometimes was feeling down and stressed from school. But even though he didn't know what we were going through, he was still there for comfort, just like Chobi is for Miu in this entire movie, offering silent comfort side by side. The apartment that Miu and Chobi are in may be small, but their bond isn't. And while I can keep talking about the actual relationship between Chobi and Miu, I don't want to spoil it. It's a 5-minute short movie. You should go experience it yourself. And I get that the movie has a different charm than newer Makoto Shinkai movies, and not as pretty as some of the modern works, because animation has just gotten so incredibly good over time. It's still beautiful in its own right, and the concept might be unfamiliar to people who haven't had a pet before. But for those who do, I think this will really hit home with you. And as I said before, I won't be spoiling the rest. But if you're curious about a melancholic, sad, yet hopeful and beautiful movie made by arguably one of the best anime directors of our time, I think this is a great place to start. And also, it's only 5 minutes. I might be on a TikTok and YouTube addiction, and so are many others, but I think at least my attention span can still last for 5 minutes, or at least it did here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like it, please like, comment, and maybe subscribe to see what I upload next. And if you haven't seen it, I made a review of Made in Abyss, which I definitely think you should go check out. Link will be in the bio. Thank you guys so much for watching.